Working.
Volume's working.
All right, cool.
You're on.
Oh, I'm on. Oh, we're doing it. Hello, everyone. I'm Jake. This is the start of our new podcast. And we're going to be interviewing comedians today. I'm going to be interviewing people that's been in the game of comedy much longer than me, who know a thing or two. And today I have my first guest, and I'm very happy to have him. He's doing me a real solid doing this. Yeah. And today we have, I wish I knew your credits, but I don't, Peter Bales.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. This is the Jake Chapman Show.
Yeah,
That's
a.k.a. Trainwreck.
No, not at all. This is your first podcast.
Yes, this is my first podcast, like official podcast. I've done a couple in my shed, but
You have a shed?
yes, I live in a shed in my backyard, Peter.
Is that true?
That is very true.
Well,
yes.
How come we don't have more comedy material about that in your set?
Because I've tried to talk about it. Okay, let me preface. So I met Peter through you teach a comedy class.
I teach a comedy class called Stand Up University, and we have a class going on now. And one of our students is Jake Chapman, and he invited me to come on his podcast. I didn't realize, actually, it was the first podcast.
Yeah, you also thought there were going to be other people
I thought there were going to be other people here. And no, but I'm happy to be supportive, and it's
Yes,
terrific that you are a relatively new comedian and doing the work you need to do to become better and become professional and give a go.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm trying, and
Oh,
I
good.
feel like this podcast could really help me like accelerate in a way of just like knowing the world of comedy.
Well, I
The type of
couldn't
people
agree
that
more.
do
I think
comedy.
podcasting is a very useful thing to do for people who are interested in doing stand-up comedy, liking stand-up comedy, learning more about stand-up comedy. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, so to start off, let's forget about the shed part. We'll get back to that later.
Well, we won't. I'm not going to let you forget about the shed part. My goodness, that is such a great topic for comedy.
See,
living in a shed. Now, is the shed connected to the house?
No, it is my own independent structure. I have a mailbox. My front yard is their backyard.
So your parents have you out in a shed.
Yes. So when I graduated college, I got a job in the city, and I was planning to move to the city because I was like, comedy's out there, my job's out there, and I have two siblings. Well, I have three, but two of them are twins, and they're 12 years old at home. So my mom wanted me home. She was like, you're gonna miss on them growing up. You gotta stay home. I was like, I'm not staying home. I'm not living in my bedroom. Like, it was literally their closet, and they turned it into a bedroom. It's like very small. So then we came to the agreement that they will get me a shed in the backyard, 140 square feet. It's legal. It's only 140 square feet, but it has air conditioning. It has a hardwood floor, and it has Wi-Fi. So
I just think that's terrific. And you're I think that is just super duper terrific. And it's very, very funny because you're sort of part of your family, but sensibly they have you in another independent structure.
I'm in the doghouse.
You're in a shed.
I'm in a shed.
And let's talk as comedians. I mean, how could this is a topic for stand-up?
I've tried to write on it, but I haven't been able to find anything.
What happens? What's the first thing a woman says when you bring her home? Wow, nice lawnmower.
No. Well, I have a girlfriend, but if I had to
Do you take
imagine,
her to the shed?
I do take her to the shed.
All right.
she does get to see the shed.
And it doesn't bother her that she can't really stand up all the way?
No, she's not that tall. She's not that tall. She can
see
stand
we're
up.
doing
That's why,
comedy
but
here.
that's why I had to get an AC because she said it was hot.
It's hot in there.
Yeah, and she wasn't
do
just
you, do you have heating in there?
In the summer, we bring in in the winter, we bring a little like
A space heater.
a little space heater.
Okay, this is great. This is and basically when you have to go to the bathroom, you
Me and the dog make eye contact.
Now, see, that's all of this. Why aren't you trying this?
I don't know. We don't have time anymore, Peter.
Yeah, we do. We actually do. I'm going to insist that when you do your performance, that you do a couple jokes about living in a shed. I mean, first of all, your parents are very smart because, they're trying to bring up the twins in a normal way, and they had to get you out.
Yeah, so they two birds with one stone.
But I think that's great. Now, how old are the audience? You want a regular audience that's going to listen to your podcast. They have to know you, and you are first of all, it's great to be young. It's great to be starting out. The younger you start out, I always say this: the younger you start out in comedy, the better. The more experience you get. How old are you?
I'm 22 years old.
22. 22 years old is such a terrific age. And
how old were you when you started?
24, actually.
24?
I believe, yes.
Oh, so you've been doing it for 65. Sorry, Brett.
I performed with monks doing Gregorian chants when I first started out. But I do mean that. It's great to start out young and just absorb everything like a sponge. Now let's introduce you to the audience. You're the one who's important here. This is your podcast.
No, the whole point of this podcast is I want to hear comedians open up and explain like who they are and how they think and what they do and why.
Well,
so I'm not a comedian yet. I'm trying, and they'll figure out about me the more episodes I do. But we only have you for one episode.
Actually, okay. To be a successful podcaster, you need to open up as well. If you expect your guests to open up, you need to open up as well. So you're 22. Did you go to college?
I did. I went to the University of Hartford, and this is a joke I've been working on. So I went to the University of Hartford in Connecticut, and the only thing I learned going to school in Connecticut was how to spell Connecticut.
That's a good school. What was your major?
Marketing. I went during COVID, like we said, at class, actually. So
2 years, and you got a bachelor's degree in 2 years?
Yes. At 20 years old, I was working for a Fortune 500 company in the city.
You got a bachelor's degree in 2 years?
Yes. Summer and winter courses, full schedule. Graduated high school with 62 college credits.
Well, I'm sorry, because I
do not come off that way.
No, I thought you were an idiot.
That's so fair, dude.
I have no idea.
I'm not really about big words or long sentences. That's not my thing.
First of all, what I just did was a total joke, because you're obviously not an idiot. And when comedians tease each other like that, it's done out of affection. It's not done like mean, out at the playground when you're in fifth grade.
I totally know. And based on my comedies, I don't understand feelings well. So I'm more like, let's just keep joking around.
Are you having trouble getting in touch with your feelings?
I don't have feelings.
You do have feelings.
I have feelings, but I don't know where they are. Or this is a conversation for my girlfriend. She would love you for this. But
your girlfriend, what is her name?
Michaela.
That's a beautiful name, and she puts up with a lot.
Come on, dude. Come on.
And she's watching this, and she has probably told you that you need to get in better touch with your feelings.
Yes. Every female ever in my life has said that. My sisters, my mom, my girlfriend.
Okay. You Michaela, I'll ask this question for you. When, Jake, was the last time you cried? Look at this. This is great. I'm having fun here. I may have commandeered the show, but this, you just chat. That's what you do. We're just talking. And you know what? If I can ask you personal questions, you can ask me personal questions. I can take it and dish it out.
Yes.
And that's only fair.
Actually, Peter, you're hurting my feelings right
now. Well, good. Good, because we need you to get in touch with your feelings. You didn't have an answer for that.
I'm thinking. And I would have to say the last time I cried was probably a family death. Probably all of my grandparents have passed away. An uncle has passed away. A cousin has passed away. And those are like the only times I've cried. Probably.
Okay. Well, first of all, that's good and healthy. And second of all, there are people who don't even find themselves able to cry at family deaths. You do realize that. There are levels.
Well, I'm going to be honest. There was a couple I didn't cry for. It wasn't like every time I cry. Like, there's like somewhere it's like, fucking.
Well, I'm not talking about your.
Like, that one sucked, but I'm good.
I'm not talking about your aunt who tied you up in the closet.
No, that was a fun one.
That was a fun one. But good. You're doing great here. I mean, you just talk to people and you listen. Another thing, on your podcast, when you have guests, listen to what they say, and a good guest will listen to what you say.
Yeah.
Okay. And
what do you say?
there you go. See, that's what you got to do. And I think you got a great future in podcasting. Just relax. You are relaxed. You don't seem nervous at all. A lot of people get nervous.
No, this is fun. I'm glad to have an hour with you. That's you charge for that most of the time. And I was able to get one on you this time around.
Anyway,
all right. Let me ask you some questions.
All right, I can answer them.
All right.
Tell the audience, I've been doing comedy since 1979. So we have a guy, Jake, who is starting out in comedy and starting out in podcasting, and he wants, and this is, a lot of young people don't care what older people think, and you obviously do, and I certainly respect that. And he's asking me my perspective on comedy or anything else. Go ahead.
When did you realize, like, I like funny?
That's a very good
because
question.
a lot of people aren't for the jokes. There's some people that like relatability, but they don't like the mechanism of funny.
Well, one thing that happens when you're a comedian, people ask you, why did you go into stand-up comedy? I bet even you've had that question.
Yeah.
And the best thing to do is answer truthfully, because you have to look into yourself. My father, and my relationship with my father is very complicated, was very, very, very funny and very sarcastic and could be cutting, but very funny when he was being cutting. And I got to appreciate humor through him at first, at a very young age.
That was the way he connected with
That was the way
he was.
Well, yes, often that was the way he connected.
It was hard for him with feelings, so
absolutely.
Being
and
sarcastic.
When you said, I don't have any feelings, that's been an issue with me. I can't count the number of times people say that I don't express my feelings, especially from every woman I've been with. Seriously, I'm telling you.
No, dude, that's I understand.
And
it is hard.
I don't know what your ethnic background is, because
probably the same as yours by the looks of it. By the
looks of us.
Yeah. I mean, ethnic background. I have my mom's Italian and Polish, if that's ethnic. And
that's about as ethnic as it gets, actually.
And then my dad is English and German.
All right. Well, you've got a nice mixture there. You came in a pouch.
Fully fascist.
Added water, and there you were.
Yep. We were on the other side of World War II.
But, some ethnic group, I think Italians do express their feelings.
Oh, my mom is the best person in the world. Like, hands down, like, understands emotions, but is also able to understand me, unlike a lot of people in my life. Like, my mom is able to know when I'm down and not wanting to do things like even entertain conversation. Like, this is the most talkative I'll get all week.
Really?
Is because with most people, like, I'll rather be in the corner. Like, I'm not good at just like conversation with no meaning, if that makes sense.
No, it does. You're not good at small talk, is what you're saying.
No, not at all.
Have you ever heard of a comedian named Gilbert Gottfried?
Yes.
This is a quiet guy when he's off stage. I would work with him right here at Governor's, and he would be very quiet off stage and take his food and take it to go.
Yeah.
Because he was so poor when he started out. I remember working with him at the old Improvisation at 44th and 9th. And he was in abject poverty, and even when he became comfortable financially and very successful in comedy and known as the comedian's comedian.
Yeah. Also one of the dirtiest minds alive.
Yes, but I've heard a lot more. What he was super creative, and he broke rules, and half the audience would think he's a genius, and the other half would be horrified and walk out.
Yeah.
And comedians would watch him just to see what he's going to say, just to see what he's going to do. He was brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant and very, very quiet backstage, and I worked with him many times, and I would chat with him, and he got comfortable with me. But we chatted about funny things. We tried to make each other laugh. We didn't talk about his life or anything like that.
He was very closed off for that much.
But he was special, and I really recommend, and I know you do this already, is you seek out comedians who have gone before you and see what you don't copy. You're not doing it to copy them. You're just doing it to see what did they do, what did they explore, what bounds did they break, because you can take that and then push yourself forward with those who've gone before. As the great scientist Isaac Newton said, here I go, Professor Bales.
Yeah, no, this is
he
good.
Said,
this is good.
He said, the greatest scientist of all time, when he was alive, I have stood upon the shoulders of giants. I have stood upon the shoulders of giants. And he did what he did because others worked hard and came up with scientific discoveries before he did. And, so when you ask me, when did you first realize you're funny and you want to go for this? Yes, you get it. I think your family's really important. I do.
Yeah.
I think even when you're very young, when you're sitting around the kitchen table and you realize there's such a thing as a joke, and there's such a thing as making other people laugh.
And you say this certain thing and you get this trigger and react. One of the things why I like laughter so much is because you know exactly what they're feeling when it's happening. It kind of evens the playing stage, if that makes sense.
Well, laughter is a good feeling, and when other people are laughing, they're having a good feeling.
Yes.
And you never hear anybody laugh. Ooh, that feels terrible. Nobody ever does that.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why I found comedy was because I'm an anxious person, and when I'm having these conversations that I'm not so good in, how's your day? What's going on?
Okay.
Like, I don't know what you're feeling. I don't know how I'm doing. And it's very easy to then, if you do make them laugh, you know exactly what's happening in that room. You're able to calm down.
Right.
That's why I feel like getting on stage, as much in the beginning it was like scary, it's actually, I find it to be like more comfortable than I ever thought it would, because it's basically just like a judgment zone. And I enjoy that because I know where I'm at the entire time. Am I okay? Am I bad? You know what I mean? Like, am I accepted? Am I not? Like, it's not as complex.
Okay, well, that's interesting that you can simplify it like that. How do you feel when you're on stage? How do you feel when you're doing well? Has that happened? That's a joke. That's a joke.
No, but it's also an honest question because I'm only 9 months in.
And only 9 months in, ladies and gentlemen, and I think you're doing terrifically. And I think it's very smart of you to take a stand-up class because, either you're funny or you're not, but we can help you avoid mistakes that people make for years before they figure it out.
That's why I end up taking the class.
Yeah. And I urge you to explore who you are and be true to yourself. But clearly, it's not unusual for comedians to be quiet off stage.
Yeah.
And I'm not a Mr. Talk a Minute off stage, and I'm also not the life of the party either.
Yeah.
I'm not. And I totally relate to where you're coming from.
Yeah, because once class is over, you're kind of ready to wrap.
Right.
You don't talk in the same sense as you were during the class, or even when you're on stage. There's like a different light.
No. I mean, I often think that comedians who are the same they are off stage as on stage are eventually going to just break. They're going to go insane.
Yeah.
Who can maintain that 24/7?
Yeah.
Because you create a character on stage.
Mm-hmm. Do you believe every comedian has to create a character on stage, or the character could be truly you?
I think it can be truly you, but as I say over and over again in class, you need to exaggerate and twist. You are an extension of yourself. You are true to yourself, but you are more than yourself.
Do you have to exaggerate and twist, or do you just have to express with no boundary? Like,
no boundaries.
Not no boundaries.
People say there's no boundaries.
But like express to your fullest extent. Because there's some comedians like Nate Bargatze who isn't super expressive. Like, they're charismatic, but they're not.
Well, how you express yourself is up to you. There's all different ways to do it, and there's no right or wrong. Whatever works for you. But you've got to be funny to strangers. Okay, and strangers don't know you at first, and they're getting to know you when you're doing your set.
Yeah.
And as I've said to anybody who will listen, that
All
what's
3
funny,
people.
what's funny to you and your family and people who already know you is not funny enough for a crowd of strangers at a comedy club. You have to be more powerful. You have to exaggerate and twist. You have to be an upward extension of yourself. Okay? Which is why I cringe when any comedians, new or older comedians, say to me, well, that really happened. Well, if that really happened, it's not 99% of the time, it's not funny enough.
Yeah.
You have to exaggerate and twist.
Yeah, comedies aren't nonfiction movies.
No, they're not. Hey, very, very good.
Yeah.
Comedies are not non-fiction movies.
You can make them real. They don't have to be fiction with dragons, but you could exaggerate and twist.
Exaggerate and twist. But, you know, you made me smile because you have a great routine, a really good topic, premise, punchline. That's what we teach. That's what makes people laugh. In the class, you are irritated when older people make references or quotes to classic movies.
Yes.
And you haven't seen the movies because you're 22.
Yes.
And that's understandable that you haven't seen the movies when you're 22.
I also feel like that's the character I kind of want to create that I think can be different than most comedians, is coming in as the young guy and playing the young guy, but having points to support. Like, you know what I mean? It's like show older people that the next generation is different, but not in a
condescending way.
I wouldn't say well, yes, I got to work on that.
You are, no, I don't find you condescending at all. You are different. The younger generation is different.
Yes, and I want to be that different, but also have it connect with older people and make the points of like the world I grow up in with like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube.
Right. You do all that material, how you interact with that stuff. I mean, older people interact with that stuff too in a different way. It's harder for us to figure that stuff out. It comes naturally to young people.
Yeah.
That can be a topic for you to talk about.
Yeah, and I feel like that's not even just a topic. That's like there could be a bunch of different topics under that one umbrella.
Yes, it's a huge subject for you. But let me caution you on this. Creating an entire character about being the young guy has a limited shelf life, and
yes,
you
those
don't know
jokes
it
have
now
limited shelf life. Yeah,
because you're going to turn 30. I know you think you never will, but you will, and it's going to come quicker than you think it's going to come.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you should just, my best advice is, if it's funny, put it in your act and keep doing it as long as people are laughing at it.
Yeah.
And when they stop laughing at it, don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at,
it's like
again, it's a cliche. You're looking at a marathon. You're starting a marathon right now.
Yeah.
Okay? And don't exhaust yourself in the first year. Okay? Be open to everything. And do you have fun? When you go to open mic nights.
Yes, sometimes. I was supposed to go to one tonight, but I didn't go.
Okay, well, you're doing your first podcast. You can't be in two places at the same time.
Well, yes. Thank you, Peter.
Are you feeling guilty? Because I can totally relate to that.
I don't feel guilty.
You gotta. If you're a comedian, Judy Carter, who wrote a pretty good book about stand-up. We have a different philosophy than she does, but she's very, very bright about some comedy issues. She remembers realizing it's almost an addiction and a responsibility for a comedian to get on stage. And she would get up early from Thanksgiving dinner to go into the city to do a set.
Yeah.
And you know what? If there's an open mic night, you're driven to go. And that's why you're feeling, that's why you said, I didn't go tonight. And you're because you missed going on stage, but then this, in a sense, is going on stage.
Yeah.
But see, that's a great sign.
Would you consider?
That's a great, man. If you feel guilty about not going to that open mic night, that's a great sign.
Would you consider, Peter, So say I write a new joke, and I bring. This is what I do. I do this more than open mics. Like I will go to open mics, but I do this a lot. I will invite my friend one at a time. Like I have more than one friend, but I'll invite one friend and sit him on the couch, and then run my set to him, one-on-one. And then they'll tell me if it's funny or not, what they like or not, and then they'll leave, and then I'll have someone else come.
That's
And
a
I'll sit
worthwhile
them
exercise.
Would you consider that the same as an open mic or different?
I think it's different because it's only one person.
And they also like you, so there's a bit of a bias to laugh when they know you're a cadence to when you're trying to make a joke.
Good job. See, you're a smart guy. And you do realize that successful comedians have to be smart. I don't know any successful comedian who's not smart in real life. You can play dumb.
I don't think you have to be smart. I just don't think you
do.
can be
You
dumb.
have to have a high IQ to write jokes and be funny to strangers. You must have a high IQ. You must be intelligent. But you play dumb on stage at the height of your intelligence. Think of the kid, Jerry Lewis. You don't think he was extremely bright? Of course he was.
I don't know
what
Jerry
kind
Lewis,
of
but okay.
That's hysterical.
Let's do it. Jerry
That
Lewis.
is you've heard of him?
No, I don't know. Is he on the Beatles?
That's fun. That is. That reminds me of my son was like
Jerry Okay, so Jerry Lucas. He was a power forward on the Knicks.
No,
right?
not Jerry Lucas.
Oh, okay.
Jerry Lewis.
Jerry Lewis
did stand up. He was more of a clown, actually. And all right, let me make a point here. It's very, very funny. And you are kidding. You've heard of him in a distant way.
Right now? No, like I'm being dead serious.
No, Jerry Lewis.
Jerry Lewis, no.
Do you have any sedatives? Anybody have a Valium I could...
I got nicotine.
No, not nicotine. No. All right. Here's what I want to impress upon you. And I already told my little Isaac Newton thing, and apparently didn't really get over on that.
No, you're going to have to beat it over the head.
Now, when I was your age, people would quote famous movies. Okay? And I wouldn't know the quotes because I was young. All right? But there were famous performers and famous movies that people would talk about, older people. And that piqued my curiosity. And I made it my business to see those movies. And I'll give you an example of a performer who was before my time. Frank Sinatra. Was
really?
Before, yes. Oh. I'm old, but I'm not that old. Have you heard of Frank Sinatra?
Yes, I like his music, actually.
You do? So
yes.
At least you've heard Frank Sinatra.
Yes.
Okay. Abraham Lincoln in history, have you ever heard of?
He was that racist one?
No, okay. Let's move on.
Okay.
Now,
all right. What about Jerry Lewis?
No, wait. No,
okay.
I'm serious. Are you curious to learn why your grandfather might say, "We're going to need a bigger boat," or he might say, "I love the smell of napalm in the morning"?
See,
do you want to go out and hear those? Do you want to find out what that's about? Now, yeah, and you should do. I'm just telling. Let me tell you blatantly. Do it for God's sake. You have to do it.
No,
you. What is
no.
No. What?
No.
No. Let me tell you.
No.
Let me tell you something. You young whippersnapper. Let me tell you. Have you ever heard that? You've never heard that expression before.
No. No.
The point. Okay. It is. You have a great comedy routine about being young and not knowing what older people are talking about. I think that can be foundational in your stand-up, but it shouldn't be foundational in your real life.
Well, it's. I find it. I don't want to make it my business to know those things because I find it funny not knowing. That's who I am to people. That's my different take when someone does the same reference they've done 50 times, and they get a response they've never really heard before. Someone confidently going back. Like,
okay, I have to say this. You can know and still play dumb in your act, which is very funny.
Okay.
But you need to know about the famous comedians who came before you.
Comedians, yes. I'm interested in learning about comedians because I've realized the people I watch, like Shane Gillis, Mark Norman, like all these people are good. They're great. Theo Von, they're great. But there's people before them that really laid down the foundation to create who they are. So I have to go back.
Well, that's my point. And you get my point.
But not movies.
Oh, my God. Not movies?
No, I don't need to watch Jaws. I don't even fucking. They're
Why?
gonna need a bigger boat. Like, you know, like.
Why do you need?
Because movies aren't a part. I'm not interested in movies.
Okay, why
I'm
do
not
you
interested
need
in
to
movies.
know about the Beatles when you love Green Day? I mean, it's just.
No, you're right. But I also don't like music. I like podcasts. I like comedians.
Wait a second. You don't
I only like. I am like.
You don't
fixated.
like music?
I don't listen to music that often at all.
And why is that?
Because I can listen to podcasts and comedians talk. Anytime I can, like, I can go to a bar and like jump to music, but I'm jumping to music because I'm hammered. I'm not jumping to music because I love this song from the 90s.
All right. If we're going to if we're going to continue here, I want a copay. All right?
You're going to have to talk to James.
Because do you know what a copay is, or your parents?
Yeah, it's
just
something
take
with
care?
insurance or something.
Yeah,
I'm not there yet.
Your parents take care of the copay.
Yeah.
All right. First of all, one of the biggest things that I believe in is understanding the past helps you to understand the present and predict the future.
I agree.
And don't deliberately avoid learning about the past. However, you've got a great topic and premise. When old people make references you don't get, 100%. But you should do it out of knowledge, not out of it actually being true. But movies and stand-up are different.
Yes.
But they're close cousins, just like
They are entertainment.
they are
as a whole.
entertainment. And improvisational comedy, is different from stand-up, but they're close cousins. And I often recommend.
I want to do
that-
an improv class.
Good, you should. That's just what I was going to say.
Yeah, I just don't know where to find one on Long Island.
Well, I can give you some names, okay?
Okay.
And I actually have a lot of experience when I started out in stand. But I was taking workshops at Second City in Chicago before I started in stand-up, and it was extremely helpful.
You did improv first?
Yes, believe it or not,
Why?
I did. Because I was an undergraduate at Northwestern, and that was right above Chicago, and Chicago is where the #1 improv troupe in the country was, Second City. And
So
I
where
took
did you
workshop-
perform?
I took workshops there.
Okay.
and I learned the basics of improv, which helps you to think and craft jokes live.
Yes.
And it's very, very useful for anyone going into stand-up comedy. And I had a chance I was in a workshop. You want me to hear a great story?
Yeah. It has to be great though, because
It is great.
Jeez.
It is great. Tony will think it's great, and you're going to go, who are you talking about? Do you want to know? I'll tell you, I was on stage doing an improv exercise at Second City in Chicago, and it was probably 1977. And somebody came, a guy walked into the workshop who wasn't in the class, but he was there because he had been part of Second City. And he was well known, and he just jumped up on stage and got into the scene with us. And I'm a college student, and he's in the scene with us. And immediately had energy and dominated the scene. And I remember trying to keep up with him, but I couldn't. And his name was John Belushi. John Belushi. Does that name ring a bell?
It rings a bell, but is that music?
He was, no.
No.
Okay. Tony Walker, our producer director here, is having a stroke. And
Is he a comedian?
He is a brilliant comedian.
Okay.
Was. and he died tragically. And there's so much to learn from him. And one of the things that you learn from him is that, you can be brilliant, but alcohol and drugs will even defeat brilliant people. But let's celebrate his life and his comic genius. And I recommend, and I bet Tony agrees with me. Have you ever seen a movie called Animal House? This is not my generation.
I've read the book, and that's serious because they gave it to us in 8th grade English class.
The book Animal is. I didn't even know there was a book.
Right. Animal House. Isn't that about like?
Animal
Farm. Animal Farm.
Okay.
Fuck. Damn it! I was so close to being with you.
We're going to talk about keeping the podcast clean at another time.
No. Damn it.
Animal Farm.
Damn it. I was like, well, why are we getting into socialism? I was like, what's happening here?
You are so smart with the stuff that you know. And you've got your whole life ahead of you. And
so Animal House.
Animal House is, it is a bit dated. It's not modern humor, but you can look back at it and see how it influenced comedy today. And it's fun. It's just fancy-free, footloose, challenging authority. Great jokes that land on film. And I couldn't recommend that you check out famous comedy movies.
Yeah. How old are we talking?
How old are we talking? When did Animal House come out? It was around 80 somewhere. Around 80 somewhere.
Okay,
yeah.
so this was so when we're saying old, we're thinking past Sandler.
Oh my God.
Earlier than Sandler, yes.
Okay.
Oh,
but
Animal House, 1978.
78,
Okay.
And it's
John
just a glorious comedy. Now let me tell you something. You can learn so much from the past, and let's not focus on general history. Let's focus on comedy history.
Like if you had to give me 3 comedians that when you were growing up, kind of was like your go-to, like
without a doubt,
stars
without a doubt, I would have to say Robert Klein was my biggest influence, starting out. And Jerry Seinfeld once told me that Robert Klein was his biggest influence as well. And I have a podcast I should plug that is available at govs.com on the Governor's podcast platform. And that's terrific. Thank you, Tony. It's called Stand Up Memories, and I co-host it with Jackie the Joke Man Martling from Howard Stern. Howard Stern is before your time.
Howard Stern. Yeah. I know him, though. He's the one with the weird hair.
That's all you have to know.
Yeah.
And
he made that like small special ed African American dude famous. What's his name?
Crackhead Bob?
No. Okay. Small like special ed African American dude that's like, I could spell carrots. KA46.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm just trying to connect with the older crowd. I don't know.
No.
Okay. All right, where were we? We were talking about.
Robert Klein would have been my biggest influence.
Okay.
And I was also much enamored. That means I really liked.
Thanks. No, it kind of helped. I was learning. That wasn't.
No. You are. I think you're very intelligent. And I think that George how familiar are you with
George Carlin?
George Carlin?
No, I know him. He's awesome, but his humor is very like, you can't replicate that. His was on a different level.
Well, you don't want to. What do you mean on a different level? You're not limited now as to what you can do in your future.
That is true.
You're not limited.
But when
at
I
all.
watch him and I compare him to other famous comedians, like he's on his own island.
You think he's above everybody else?
I wouldn't say above, but different. The way he approaches.
He was part of his time.
Art.
He was so good. I think maybe that's what you're saying, that he's different. Yes, he was amazing.
What was that one famous line he has? It's like, where people that are like-minded are in the same room, they're gonna like. Didn't he call out a lot of things about the government?
That was
before?
all he did. Everything. He had such a wide range. He started out in an old-fashioned style in a business suit and came out with long hair and was part of the new movement in comedy that started with a guy by the name of Lenny Bruce. Google Lenny Bruce. And he was somebody who stood up and said, comedy doesn't have to be puns and wordplay and the Catskills and not offending anybody. Lenny Bruce came forward with a new style. And quickly came Robert Klein and George Carlin and others, and started the modern comedy genre or movement, if you will. We all owe so much to them. We just do. And modern comics owe so much to those who came in the 20s, in the 30s, in the 40s, in the 50s.
Yeah.
Who was America's first stand-up comedy? That's debatable, by the way. But who was America's first stand-up comedian? Some people say Mark Twain. He was, of course, a writer.
Yeah, 'cause you got to be edgy to throw the N-word out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's that's potentially very funny, and the N-word is not funny. But what's funny would be my reply that, sadly, very sadly, for much of American history, the N-word was not edgy and was just an everyday word.
That is true. That is true.
Wow, that might be the most profound moment I've had.
Of course, a white guy talking about black people.
No, but he goes the N-word. Wow, that's edgy. And I would say, back in history,
It was.
thank God it's edgy now, because it was
Peter,
commonplace.
We have 15 minutes left, and I want to get into your career. You, Peter Bales.
But
as a
wait, let me
stand-up
just because
wrap it up.
I will wrap it up, and then you'll. But I want you to Google the Marx Brothers.
The Marx Brothers.
And you're not alone, by the way. I once was at SUNY Stony Brook in a classroom with about 30 undergraduates who watched a Marx Brothers movie called Duck Soup, without a laugh in the room. Okay? And the film ended, the lights came on, and this college sophomore turned to me and said, "Which one was Chico?" That was the reaction. But you open yourself up, learn about it. It will give you fuel to move forward in your modern day career. History matters. The history of comedy matters. Even learning the old style stuff that doesn't seem fun. It's natural that it doesn't seem funny to you.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's natural that I really don't care about the newest comics either.
Yeah.
That's natural. But knowing about it is important.
I totally
Now you
agree.
can ask me any personal. I don't live in a shed.
Okay. What was the career of Peter Bales like? So you started at 24. Were you hitting open mics?
What was the career of Peter Bales like?
Yeah, like what was it about?
I like these general questions.
I don't know. I'm trying.
That's
I'm trying
about,
to.
you know what?
No. Okay. When it
Can
started,
we limit that a little bit?
let's go chronological. So we're 24 years old. Where do we start? Where do we live in?
We started at the comic strip in New York City.
So you were living in New York City?
I was living on Long Island, actually, with my parents, but they let me have a room in the house. And
Why? Because you were a single child?
I had a brother. We both had our own.
Okay, yeah, two's enough. You get a whoopsie, turns out to be twins. You're living in the closet, and then you're in the shed. So
How old are the twins now?
they're 12, and I'm 22.
Do you have a good relationship with them? All right, look, You're interviewing me. I'm sorry. Oh, look at this.
Hello.
One of my favorite people in the world. Do you know who this is?
I do not.
Jake. This is
Hello, I'm
is
Jake.
one of the funniest comedians on the planet. Her name is Carrie Carabas, and she is a killer comedian. Now, what is the name of this is his first podcast ever.
Yes.
He's 22.
No, it's good. It's good.
And
I had to pay Peter, but it's fine.
And let me tell you something. He's 22. He's in stand-up university, my class. He's smart, and he's got all kinds of potential, amazing potential.
Well, he's adorable. That's it.
And I didn't say that, but Carrie can say it, that you are a very attractive, handsome young
You're a
man.
handsome 22-year-old.
Yes.
Thank you.
I can't say that because
You're a
yeah.
pedophile.
Well, he said it before, just off air.
Yeah. So, Carrie walks in and she a whole nother topic, and you should have her on your podcast because a whole
Yeah, I would
nother
love to.
topic is the special challenges that women face, females face
100%.
in stand up. And you got to see Carrie. First of all, you make it another thing as you're out at the clubs. Make a
Peter,
point.
I didn't pay you.
But I'm making a point.
I feel bad. I only gave him $10.
I feel no. I'm making a point. I'm making a point to all young comedians. When you're out at the clubs, watch other comedians to learn, not copy them, but to learn styles, and come down to Governors, and watch sometimes. And Carrie will be the. Is Carrie live?
Yep.
Okay.
Get
Hell
to the
yeah.
point, Peter. I feel like I'm listening to Kamala Harris. Well, get to the point.
Now, Jake, this is exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
No, I know.
That's awesome.
Watch other comedians and sometimes
will.
see the good, the bad, and the ugly and learn from it. And Jake is
And whenever you do a show in a theater, and the booker says, "Order whatever you want," order whatever you want.
okay. Now, Carrie and I are different in some ways, and I think it has to do with common sense.
I have common sense.
No. We did a show at a theater, and afterwards we went across the street to a nice restaurant, and the booker was in a great mood because it was a successful show, and she said, "Your dinner's on me." I got a
She
cheeseburger.
said, "Order whatever. you
Order
want."
whatever you want. I got a
The
cheese.
waitress comes over and goes right to the lady and says to Peter, "What would you like?" And he says, "I'll get a cheeseburger." All right.
Oh, no, you kid. No, Carrie.
You
Yeah.
finish the story.
Carrie, first of all, she took a deep breath and had this evil look in her eye. You have to embellish.
got it.
But I don't think I'm embellishing. And she ordered the most expensive thing on the menu, lobster.
A whole lobster.
Nice.
So she deserves it.
All right.
What?
Okay, you're
You don't think
closer
this is
to
'cause-
Carrie's philosophy than you are to mine.
Yeah.
And I think the booker maybe resented it a little bit.
No, she didn't.
She didn't?
No, it's not her money.
I took the bit. I had a lobster bib on. Peter's eating his every time you took a bite of your burger, you had this most miserable look on your face. While I was cracking and dipping in the butter sauce and eating the lobster tail, you were salivating.
My
You were salivating.
My cheeseburger was not even cooked right. I was so mad. And I've been trying to make her feel guilty for years now.
You have the picture somewhere, right?
I do. Somewhere I have it. My point is,
Get the lobster.
that's the opposite.
Peter
of
and I are working together November 9th at the Northport Yacht Club.
Yes, let's get a plug in there. The Northport Yacht Club, and the Northport Yacht Club where we're doing a show.
Yeah, Butera does shows there a lot. I see he put one on there before, I think.
Well, this is not a Butera show.
Well, that's not my level yet. Maybe I'll get there. And
No, but John Butera is a good guy, and actually,
he's awesome.
We'll
I owe him a
recommend
lot.
him.
He gives me so
Forget-
much opportunity. If you're starting comedy, become friends with John Butera.
right?
Go
we
to
have-
open mics.
We make that point. Absolutely.
He is a huge part of starting.
He definitely does give horrible comedians opportunities.
But you got to do that
To
to
get
give
better.
good
Again-
people opportunities.
All right. Let me.
It's true. You got to be horrible
Right.
to get good.
And when you're on let me explain something. As you're doing a podcast, there's certain guests like Carrie, when the host has to do what we call damage control.
No, dude, I'll let her sink. I'll do whatever she got to do.
No.
I just want people to be them.
John
That's
Butera is Stand Up University endorsed for new comedians, without a doubt.
100%.
I want to be on the record with that. But I totally am encouraging him, and he's got it. You know how I know he's got it? Because when he doesn't go to an open mic to work out, he feels guilty. He feels guilty staying home. That's.
So are you? Let's get to the parents. Do the parents know you want to do this for a fucking living?
Actually, Yes, but they don't like it because I have bills to pay.
Right.
And
you're not
I-
gonna make any fucking money.
And I don't want to
Okay,
make.
there's no
and I
backup-
don't want to make money.
Wait, hold on. You gotta have a backup plan.
No, there
You
is
gotta
no.
stop
I want to
putting-
be a waiter. That's my backup plan. I
Okay,
want to
but
be a
then
waiter. I
when
don't want to
you're
work.
60 and your knees, you got to get a knee replacement. Look.
I'll marry a teacher.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
Well, I'm
Well,
already.
somebody-
I'm already.
Look, Peter's already married. Peter's already married. Listen to me. Peter's a teacher. Look at him. Shops at Kohl's.
I'm not trying. I'm not hitting on Peter. I'm not trying to marry Peter.
I'm just saying. You'll get the female version of Peter.
Yeah. Exactly.
Putting down coals.
No, I mean, if you have a passion, go for it. Why not?
I
I did,
She did.
but I did marry a pension.
There you go.
I married a 401 and a pension and a health benefit plan.
And a man with infinite patience.
What?
I can't, I'm sorry.
Oh God.
I could. I
Paychecks?
mispronounced. I can't say it.
Paychecks.
No, the infinite patience. I should have
Oh,
said.
patience.
I mean, Sam, her husband. I mean, what he puts up with is just.
Crazy.
He's a great
I'm
guy.
a hot piece of ass.
Uh,
That's what it is, Peter.
that's right. And what is that roast joke that I've done?
I'm 83 years old, Peter. Look how good I look.
You look great.
Don't I look good, Tony? Say something.
Oh, absolutely. You look great.
And my roast joke is funny. I think it irritates.
What was
you.
the joke?
I did it twice, and you did it. Now you've done that twice.
Why don't I hear it?
I go up
Because you can't write new material.
I go well.
Oh my God.
you come up with a new joke.
Are you saying my Jimmy Carter jokes are not cutting it anymore?
Okay, what was the joke?
I've been I've been in stand-up comedy so long. I remember when
Carrie
Carrie Carabas was fuckable.
See? See, it works every time. And then my rebuttal was, I've been in comedy so long, Peter was never fuckable. Unless you're a lesbian like Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh, now
Wasn't that your claim?
you wanted a story? Palma Florentina.
Hello.
Palma Florentino is here. Another heavy hitter. Come on and sit.
She's skinny, though.
She's skinny.
It's a big day.
let me introduce you.
Muscled today. We
This
got a
is
lot of
Jake.
good comedians.
Jake is a new comedian.
He's adorable.
Jake.
I said the
see
same
that?
thing. I said
What
the
did you
same
do? You look really good today. I mean, not that you don't look good all the time. You look a little extra good.
Now
You know what it is?
They're double teaming
His
me
blood
now.
pressure's up a little. That's why he's got a little
No, I
red
mean,
flush.
You really look good. Did you do something?
All right, you come sit down.
Sit
Come
down. This is
Grab the
Go
headset
this way.
microphone.
This is a funny comedian named Palma Florentino, who really does wonderful comedy. She's really, you're a part Italian. She really is Italian. She's amazingly Italian. Isn't it good?
All right, Kamala. All right.
I'm gonna start calling you that.
Understand what he's saying.
What do you mean you don't understand what I'm saying?
You can talk now. Can we tell the story
I'm
about
Palma.
Oh, Rosie O'Donnell, I directed an improv group, and Rosie O'Donnell was in it. And I was a couple years, I wasn't much older than her. I wasn't much older than Rosie, and she was lying about her age the other way, saying she was old. No, but I was
What do you
sitting
mean you
up.
weren't that much older?
What, 3
How
years?
old is Rosie?
3 years old. She's well into her 60s now.
She is?
Yeah.
No, she's maybe.
Oh, yeah, maybe she is.
65.
So I kissed her. Long story short,
Go
I
on.
kissed
You
her.
kissed
I was
Rosie
talking to
O'Donnell.
Rosie, and when you take a look. If you see pictures of Rosie when she was young,
They didn't have pictures
She
back
was never.
then.
Well, she was hot.
Good. That's good.
We're trying.
Okay. Well, here's my story. Listen. She had
Oh,
a-
let's hear the story.
No, the story is I was sitting on her driveway in Comac, and I leaned
In a car, or?
no, just like on the side of the driveway on a summer day talking to her, and I leaned forward and I kissed her on the lips for a decent amount of time, and I'll never forget. We stopped, we broke the kiss, and went back a little bit, and she looked me in the eye and she said, I think I'm going to go in a different direction.
And didn't
and she really did go in a different.
Direction.
And I think I'm the one
Oh,
who
so you
pointed
didn't-
her
So you
In
didn't.
that different
in that direction. That's
So wait. So
I don't
you
thi-
didn't bang her? I thought you
no,
banged her.
no.
Oh, so you lied to me.
I don't think that's a.
But I do know people that did bang her. Just saying.
You do?
I do. I know one person.
Her boyfriend. She had a serious boyfriend for a while.
I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to give.
Well, you're going to go there after the show. I can tell you that right now. I'm not going to let you go to your
I do
car.
know one person who did.
Did you? Do you?
All right, it was me.
I was Carrie.
I was the guy back then.
Yeah, you all go through changes. But the point is, Jake is a new comic. Remember when you? How were you when you were 9 months into comedy? What did you know 9 months in?
Nothing.
Well, first of all,
I don't
Jake
know
is his
much.
name.
Jake.
Yeah.
Jake,
hi.
is this your podcast?
Yeah, but we're letting Peter run.
No, I'm
Let
sorry.
Peter
I've
go.
taken over this.
No, I need you to. This is good. I'm new.
I'm sorry.
I told you I'm more of a 7-minute
can't-
spot guy, and you're an hour guy.
No, he's not an hour guy. Trust me.
Well, we got 20. It's good.
It's 4.5 minutes.
But Jake, and I know Jake can do this.
It's that quick.
You know, you need to be a sponge, and you need to watch everything you can watch,
Yes.
and learn everything you can learn, and try different
Don't
stuff.
sponge off of people's material, though.
No, maybe, no.
No, not maybe. that's not.
No, I know. I'm not. I'm kidding.
But just be open to everything, and
Yeah.
you know what I tell comics, and I bet you both agree with me. If it works, leave it in. You know,
Ew.
the on.
I want to throw up right now. That's disgusting.
Come on, Peter.
My
You know-
stomach. I just had my stomach cut open.
Oh, all right. Carrie's okay. This is the chemistry that we have. I say profound things, and she puts me down. That's how that works. But seriously, 9 months. You're so new, and you have unlimited potential. Because you're right. He's in a manly way. You're a good-looking guy, and try all different things.
And if anything, you'll get laid in this business. That's for sure. Because women like funny. Well, some women.
Today's
But-
tomorrow's yesterday's today.
Wait, listen to me.
I'm listening.
Women love funny men.
I have a girlfriend.
Oh, okay. Well, when that breaks up, you will be getting a lot of ass.
You know, I often wonder if young comics
Kamala.
Kamala. He's got Kamala. He's in love with Kamala.
I don't know what my problem is.
Kamala.
I'm getting tongue-tied. I wonder, do young comics have as much sex when they're starting
we did
as
when
we
we were
did?
younger?
Seriously, I wonder
No.
about.
No, probably not.
You know,
We were horn dog.
we were. Where were you when I was looking for you?
Listen,
Where-
I didn't bang comics. I didn't bang comedians.
Isn't that like
Don't
rule
bang
number one?
comedians.
Is to
No,
not bang
no, no.
comedians?
Don't bang
No.
comedians.
Carrie,
Yeah.
Carrie,
One. You didn't bang
Carrie,
that one.
Well, usually
Carrie,
everyone has.
Why now,
Yeah.
Don't even say
Carrie,
Open micers don't count.
Carrie banged.
I said comedians.
Carrie banged bikers.
This is the best thing. This is the best story ever.
I just got you with that one.
I was dating this young open micer comic, and I'll never forget this. You know who Keith Robinson is,
Yes.
right? New York City comic, very funny. I walk into the cellar with him. I was going to do my spot, and all of a sudden he comes up to me and he goes, "Hey, when he comes over to bang you, does he have to bring 2 people?" or 4 people? It was just so funny.
Yeah. That's
It was a great
that's so
joke.
funny.
Great joke.
So you, the world is your oyster, man. Keep doing podcasts. I recommended that he wants to take an
But just
improv
don't have
improv
Peter
class.
on them because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't talk if you have Peter on
No,
them.
it's good.
I know,
it's
I'm
a good
sorry.
start. No, I like it.
No, I really
like it. I
know-
can't talk like that. I can't put that many sentences together.
Yes, you
That's-
can.
no.
Yes, you can.
And
None
and
of
when-
what he said
How
made
many people
sense.
actually watching this right now? 3?
No.
Yeah, 3. 3 was the number. Yeah.
Is
Really?
I don't know. We'll
No.
see.
yeah, but one of
You
them.
know what's going to happen, though, Jake?
Yeah.
Here's my advice to you.
Please.
Just get on social media, get a following, make them love you, do stupid shit, go viral, do what you got to do on that, because that's the new way to
That is the
get
new
in.
way to get
That's the
famous.
new way to get in, to get an audience to come out and see you. And what was? See, I forgot what I was just going to say.
What are you, me?
You can't even do the. You can't.
No,
Come on, you got 3 sentences. You got another one in there?
No, and then all these videos that you're doing now, once they love you already, they're gonna go back and click on these and watch them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if they have 2
That's
views
true.
right now,
That's true. You know,
What did you do? Did you do something to your hair?
what did I
You
do?
put that men's dye in it.
There's no dye in my hair.
Oh, okay. It looks good though.
rosacea.
Thank you. Aren't you nice?
Not rosacea.
Palmer, are
What-
you wearing the right prescription? No. No, actually, Peter, I'm not gonna lie. You do look good today.
You know, I've never had compliments like this from 2 women, ladies. These two in
Listen,
particular.
we do like
Because usually they refer to me
We
as
like
"Hey
you."
asshole."
Yeah, well, look, we like
no.
you. We like you.
No, I
We
like
like you.
I
We
like.
No, we like him because
political views.
you know what it is.
Yeah, I figured
You
that out
like-
real quick in class.
Listen, we like Peter because you just don't want to drive to a gig. You hire Peter. He comes. He drives you. Takes you.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you're not a girl?
He's an Uber driver.
No.
I'm joking. I'm joking. I wouldn't get in a car with him. You'll never get to the gig.
Are we listening to music? No, you're listening to me.
I help Peter sell his books though. I'm good at that.
Peter Sellers. Who's that?
That's what I heard too.
I heard Peter Sellers.
Peter sells his books, I said.
Now, because you have a background in sales, when I sell my book after shows,
I help her.
Palma, she helps me. She gets in front of people and yells at them to buy my book. She guilts them.
Well, it's only $2. People,
No, it's not.
how much is the book?
I don't know. $5.
$5?
It's
You have a
actually
book?
10.
Oh, it's $10.
My
It went
novel,
up. It went up.
Yeah.
didn't
And
know
my
you
other
had a
one
book.
was 20. Yeah. You know, but I
What'd you
can't.
write a book about?
I wrote a funny book about American history, and I wrote a novel called "Long Live Long Island" about 1981. You know,
I don't know.
Nice.
a group of friends on Long Island, learning what it means to be friends in a tough time.
And how to split an 8-ball.
That's another.
But those were the good days.
Those-
Those were the good fucking days when we went clubbing and we were doing a bump. Those are the best days of our lives.
I didn't-
And you wouldn't have a seizure
Just
after.
The best days of our lives.
Just for
Those
the
were best.
record, I didn't do any
I don't
bumps.
care what you did. You missed out, okay? Because we were, and you know.
I've
like-
heard of bumps.
Oh, you're full of shit. Don't even go there. You were bumping all over the place.
I was bumping all over the place.
It was really, really fun. We had a good time. Monday night was.
Governor's green room was white. Especially if Angel Salazar was there.
Oh God,
God rest
he
his
was.
soul.
God
good. He
rest
was
his soul.
really-
Very
He was
funny
my
man.
favorite little comic.
But I mean,
Besides Mario.
Carrie will tell you. You know, at the end of a weekend, the owner of a club would say, "Do you want cash, or do you just just want a little bag?" You know.
A bag.
A bag.
I take the bag.
Best story ever. I walk into a green room. I'm an MC. I walk in my first. Can you hear me? Do you need me to do this?
Yeah, pull it over.
All right, so I walk into the green room. They go, the green room's right there. My first time ever. I'm in Brooklyn. I walk in. I'm all dressed up. I'm the MC. I'm so excited. I got passed in this room. I open the door. Angel Salazar's wearing a G-string with the elephant ears and the elephant nose, rolled up 20, and he's about to snort. And he looks at me and he goes, "Hey, you party?" I went, "Oh, I'm sorry," and I shut the door. I didn't know who he was. I was traumatized.
You were
Believe it or not.
I
I sat outside the
traumatized.
green
I
room.
didn't think anyone could traumatize.
I was traumatized back then. You get a thicker skin after a while.
Yeah, I need that thicker skin.
You'll get
But
it.
again, just observe everything. Be smart.
Peter,
work-
you're repeating yourself.
Work
Shut
the new
fuck
work
up.
the new material.
No, it's good. I like it.
Just do what you got to do. You'll be fine. You'll be
And,
fine.
and you have to have a strong stomach because there's a lot of Carries out there.
Carrie's awesome.
She's
Straight
awesome.
shooter.
She's awesome. And wait till you.
Listen, I help more comics than anyone has ever helped in their lives.
I think it's.
All right, ask
I
any
think that's-
comic in the city. Ask any comic on Long Island.
Yeah, but have you ever helped a comic that doesn't drive?
Mario.
I got to tell. No, but
Mario doesn't drive.
Carrie
Do we have
is,
the next podcast
is
coming
generous.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Somebody's banging on the door.
All right. I think we got to wrap this up. So.
All right.
Nice meeting you, Jake.
Yes, very nice meeting you.
All right,
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna go too.
All right.
Yes.
The Queen's going, but
Good night.
Good night, Palma
Thank you.
Florentino.
Thank you.
Carrie,
you do, and it was nice meeting
you're very
you.
sweet. Thank
Nice
you.
meeting
Very familiar.
We've met before.
We did, right?
Yes.
I thought so.
You've been in here.
Bye, Tony.
Right,
Yes.
right, you're right.
Bye.
Good seeing you, Carrie.
She's my BBM.
Aw. Now, as the podcast host, you bring that. You
I
say
gotta
thank
close
you.
it.
Say thank you to Palma Florentino and Carrie Carabas.
Thank you, Palma Florentino and Carrie Carabas and Peter Bales for giving me an hour of what it's like to be in stand-up comedy.
And this is
being a
special because
full-blown
it's your first
comedian.
podcast, and I appreciate you inviting me. It's an honor. The future is unlimited for
Thank you, Peter.
because of who you are.
Thank you. And thank you guys for watching, and we'll be back next week.